depend on the officials to make the right calls. They're going to make it's balls and strikes. It always has been. You're not going to agree with every one of them. Sometimes they win, sometimes you don't.
Like nobody's going to get a lap back right here.
Well, let's have a look at what's going to happen on these pit stops. Dick Bergeron.
Well, I'm in Kurt Busch's pit. He's a little bit free in the center. He's just right now, in fact, talking to his crew. They're just going to change the air pressure in the tire. They have not put a wrench in this car yet. Steve Burns.
Well, Dick, just listening to Sterling Marlin talk to his crew, he said just a little bit loose now coming off turn 4. Doesn't want to do much to the car. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum.
And Steve, right now, Greg Zipadelli is talking to Tony Stewart about what changes to make. And right now, they're talking about making an air pressure adjustment, just a tweak on this Home Depot Pontiac a little bit. Guys?
140 laps complete. Stewart's all but pushing the pace car to get down here and into pit road.
He's in a hurry.
Oh, he is pushing the pace car.
A little bit of bump draft here under caution.
He's got old Buster jacked up.
You know you got a good car when you're playing games like that.
Yeah, he's having a good time. He wants everybody to get involved with him.
I'd say pit road will be busy.
There's an extra $1 million on the nose of Stewart's car if he can win this race.
I know earlier in the week, Matt was talking about him having bad luck over here at the sprint car races, World of Outlaw, but he's making up for it today, Matt.
Peel and layup. 5 away.
Steve Burns.
And Sterling Marlin hits his marks perfectly on pit road. They were discussing just up until the last second what adjustments to make to this number 40 car. They decide to drop air pressure in the right rear, half a pound, to Dick Bergeron.
Kurt Busch on the bottom. They're only going to make a slight air pressure adjustment in this car. This thing has been hot all day. He is running the top 5 all day. So far, a flawless pit stop. To Matt.
Dick, Big Chuck White, the jack man, comes back from the hospital where he's getting IVs. He's battling the flu today. He's jacking the car. They made an air pressure adjustment in the left rear of the 20 car as they are going to battle off pit road. It's going to be close at the line.
24 lead lap cars pitting, and that looks to be the man who got away first.
Well, he's in the right pit. All he's got to do is jump across the line down there, right, Larry?
Not far to go at all. He's in that end pit as they leave pit road.
That's a big advantage.
So rookie Ryan Newman trying to extend the current string of 11 consecutive NASCAR races without a repeat winner. We'll be right back. This is NASCAR on Fox. Welcome back to Las Vegas.
Holy cow, look at that.
Who is that?
Geez, winking, blinking, and nod.
I know I recognize Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but I don't know who that other guy is.
This was the last pit stop efficiency. Ryan Newman came in 5th. 4 positions he picked up all the way to 1st at that end pit. And I'm going to say some of these guys changed 2 tires because it only been about 10 or 12 laps since they were on pit road for 4 tires under green. Matt Yoakum, how about it?
Well, Larry, you're exactly right. Matt Boland, the crew chief for Ryan Newman, gambled and went with 2 tires. They stuck with the same pressures that they had on the previous set, but they did only take on 2 tires. To Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, same thing down here for Dale Earnhardt Jr., the number 8 car. Tony Uri Jr. said they just took right side tires, trying to get track position. Let's check in now with Dick Bergeron.
Well, Jerry Nadeau has failed to keep his nose clean. He's got a dented front end on that number 25 automobile. The result, a badly overheating engine. To Jeannie.
Well, Dick, it's been a bumpy ride for Michael Waltrip since pretty much the beginning of this race. This last pit stop, he came in to replace a right rear shock, had some problems with that. It took so long, they said, hey, just go out, we finished this, come back in. So he made a second stop to get the 4 tires and fuel. Mike?
Let's get set to go green. Dale Earnhardt Jr. picked up 13 positions on pit road. Cars at the tail end of the lead lap. Elliott Sadler just in front of the race leader. We're back under green.
You know, if memory serves me right, he led this race last year. Dale did. And talking to him, he'd really like to get, he's just very disappointed at the start to his season. He was hoping to be a championship contender this year, and they've really struggled the first few races.
Sadler trying to hang on the lead lap as his Todd Bodine in front of him.
I mean, Tony Stewart, he has a fast race car. He has 4 fresh tires. He is on the move.
And he ain't waiting on nobody.
Wow, 3 abreast.
He got clipped down there, I believe. Man, it looked like somebody got into the side of him just a teeny bit. He's handling so good, I don't think it even bothered him.
That's close quarters back there on the restart.
Oh boy, it's the worst. This is worse than the start of the race.
Well, Ryan Newman picked himself up a little bit of cushion. Now in front of him are Jerry Nadeau and Ward Burton and Todd Bodine trying to stay on the lead lap.
They want a caution right now. Get their lap back.
And right behind Newman is Elliott Sadler. Oh, not anymore. Tony Stewart is past Sadler.
Watch this down here in the middle of 1 and 2. I tell you, this took my breath away. I don't know if it bothered Tony or not. 30's down on the inside. He comes up. Whoa, baby.
He was down there in Tony's territory.
Yeah.
Yes.
One's a coming and one's a going. Bumped into each other. Didn't bother him, though. He didn't check up. Man,
Jimmy Johnson he's down there, way down. And we don't have out of bounds here at Las Vegas. This is one racetrack we don't have it.
Just the green. The green's the only thing out of bounds here.
17th place at stake in the middle of this.
Boys are slicing and dicing, Larry. They are all over the place. Watch this. This is what you call just using up every bit of the territory. Jimmy Johnson's down on the inside to get 4 wide. You can't do 4 wide. Oh, yes, you can. If I get down here, I can.
Smoke's a flying down there. Dust a flying.
And how about Kyle Petty right up there on the lead lap, top 20, chasing Jeff Gordon. And it's still heavy traffic.
Everybody's pushing and shoving.
Well, now what's happened to Junior? He slipped from second on the restart back now to 8th place.
I just don't think he's that good. I think he, had a great stop and got him up there, but I just don't think his car's all that great right now.
Guys, I got to give a call to this 44 car, Buckshot Jones. This is the run of this kid's life right here. I'm telling you that the Petty organization is coming to life. Look at Petty Enterprises. Last year, we wouldn't have 3 cars up here because normally they were going home when I was going home. And look at them. We got Buckshot Jones in 12th, Kyle Petty in 17th, John Andretti in 31st. But the car I'm impressed with is Buckshot Jones. Started back in 19th. Not that happy with his car. That group made some adjustments this morning, and he is up there beating all over the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. That 8 car. This is a battle for 9th.
Well, Buckshot runs good on tracks like this. Think about his Busch days. He won New Hampshire was a place I can recall him running really well. Flat, slick, got to hook the bottom, got to gas it.
And right with him, one of those Jeffs, also one of those Burtons. That would be Jeff Burton, who is right there. He is now 3rd among our no-bull contenders. Tony Stewart is 2nd. Earnhardt Jr. is 9th, and Burton is 11th. Matt Kenseth 22nd, and Bobby Hamilton the only car out of the race.
You know, I go back to the Petty organization one more time just quickly. You know, we talked about Robin Pemberton leaving Penske and coming over as general manager, but also we got a battle for the lead.
Did you see what happened there, Larry? That 12 went down in there real hard. The thing bobbled, took off with him a little bit, and opened the door for Tony to go by on the inside.
And just remember, this is 2 tires versus 4 tires.
That's the difference right there.
2 tires on Ryan Newman.
And it'll get worse. It'll start showing up more and more the longer they go.
Well, the thing also, remember, Ryan Newman's car has been tight. It's been pushing. And normally when you put just right side tires on, if you don't adjust for it, it will make the car turn even worse.
Yeah, it will.
Look at Fox Tracks here. Just a little bit of difference in the speed right here. Tony Stewart leading the race. Ryan Newman in 2nd.
Well, you see, when Tony's speeds are up in the 150s and Ryan's is down in the 140s in similar situation.
They were the same coming off turn 2 at the end of the backstretch.
Well, yeah, at the end of the backstretch. I tell you, that 12 car's got a lot of smoke on the hood.
But where he seems to be the tightest, where the car's turning worse, is off at turn 4.
See, Tony jumps into the 160s before Ryan ever gets out of the 150s. 187 miles, almost 190 miles an hour.
Now, Newman was faster, but Tony Stewart had to contend with the lap car right there, which I think hurt his speed down the front stretch.
0.6 of a second the difference between them. Stewart has now led 3 times for 12 laps. Newman has led 3 times for 50 laps, the most of any driver thus far. Now, Jimmy Johnson slid up the racetrack in turn 2 a bit ago, slipped to the tail end of the field, and also had a little contact here with Robbie Gordon.
Whoa. 17 just got spun around off of turn 4 here.
And
Caution is out.
Caution's out. He did a good job.
And Ward Burton may have gotten his lap back here.
Well, there's a number of cars up there that are in place to get them back.
Kenseth will stay on the lead lap.
Here comes Ward.
Todd and Nadeau.
Jerry Nadeau in the 25. Casey Atwood in the 7.
Each got a lap back from Tony Stewart.
So they get a second chance. And we saw what happened yesterday in the Busch race. My brother got a second chance. He was a lap down, got it back, and finished second in the race.
Let's see what happened to last week's winner, Matt Kenseth.
Well, he's down there. He's down there. Oh, yeah, he just lost it. I don't see anybody helping that, making that happen except the guy behind the wheel.
The car a little bit loose, and Jimmy Johnson was coming up on the back of him, makes it a little looser, takes that rear downforce away, and she comes around and a little drive through the grass.
Didn't hurt a thing. Matter of fact, it helped. It helped the 5 other guys that were in front.
DW, if I tested the waters last time and gave you 2 tires, I'm going to give you 4 this time.
I'm coming back in. You don't have to worry about that. I ain't leaving till you give me 4 this time.
I've heard that before. Looked like a little bit of trial and error there, a little faking. You're not coming. I'm going to stay out.
And pit road is open.
Some of the cars a little further back in the field decides to come pit road.
Now from 8th on back, Buckshot Jones in that group.
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. only took 2 tires. He comes to pit road.
We'll recap these pit stops when we come back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Welcome back to Las Vegas as we take a look like a bullet, a silver bullet. Sterling Marlin shooting to the front after starting 24th, but trouble as he is tapped by the 24 car into pit road. Tony Stewart, the 25 car, I should say. Tony Stewart almost missing pit road, and then later taking the lead in the pit stops. Marlin and Stewart having some trouble there, and Ryan Newman beating them out of the pits to lead for a while in this race, but Tony Stewart taking the lead back, and the first ever lap turned on this speedway back in June of 1996. Tony Stewart did that, a GM car leading the way. The standings, the Winston Cup Points Race Championship, 2 of 36 races entering the race today. Sterling Marlin leading Ward Burton, Daytona 500 winner. And you see Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton rounding it out. The Busch Series, which completed its 3rd race yesterday here. Jack Sprague leading former champ Randy LaJoie and Jason Keller, who won the previous week, currently running 3rd. And the Craftsman Truck Series presented by Sears after just 1 of 23 races, and Robert Presley out of Asheville, North Carolina, leading the way there. All right, Jeff Hammond from the Hollywood Hotel. We're in our 4th caution. We've had 12 lead changes here, 8 different leaders. Let's size up what we've seen so far and what you think we'll see the rest of the way.
There's a bunch of those drivers out there right now that I think are very lucky. They're lucky they're here in Vegas because, you look at Sterling Marlin. He was speeding down pit road. NASCAR didn't get the call made. He got a break there. Tony Stewart almost misses pit road early on, doesn't go a lap down. Caution comes out, saves him a lap. A lot of things right now have been kind of like circumstantial and very lucky for a lot of drivers. But I'm telling you, some hot action right now between these guys at the front.
Should be an exciting finish, a record crowd here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Over 150,000, the most ever to witness a sporting event in the state of Nevada. Let's go back upstairs. They're getting ready to go green. That's Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Jordan.
Tony Stewart, who has a million extra reasons to want to win this race, will lead Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Sterling Marlin, and Joe Nemechek up in the top 5.
Boy, that's a great run for Joe Nemechek in that 26 car.
Unsponsored. Travis Carter team, victim of the Kmart bankruptcy, and looking for a sponsor to complete